With thousands of years of continuous history, China is one of the world's oldest civilizations and is regarded as one of the cradles of civilization. In early ancient China, many people worked at farming, but it was not an easy life. They had extravagant temples and even built the Great Wall of China over 2000 years ago. Many different emperors ruled ancient China, which you will read about in the Dynasties of Ancient China section. Did you know that they also invented many different things that are in use today, like the compass, fireworks, and even the harness for horses? Have fun reading and learn about the people of ancient. The uniqueness of this civilization in world history lies in its prolonged continuity over many centuries. Present-day China is a vast country with the Pacific Ocean in the east, wide desert and mountains to the west, and the Himalayas in the south. Through the land flow the two main rivers of China, the Yangtze and the Yangtze. Ancient Chinese civilization developed and flourished along the banks of these two rivers. The another name of the river Yangtze is Yellow River. The Yangtze or Yellow River has been called China's sorrow is because of its large size and elevation. The Yellow River has flooded on severe occasions, floods that had ended with death and the devastation of property. The ancient Chinese civilization witnessed the rise of many dynasties and powerful empires like the Shang, the Zhou, the Qing, the Jin, etc. The Shang dynasty was the earliest dynasty for which both archaeological and written evidence is found. The Shang rule was ended by the Zhou dynasty. The era of the Shang and the major period of Zhou dynasty is generally known as the Bronze Age in China. Later, iron was also introduced and the Chinese civilization made the transition from the Bronze Age to the Iron Age. The Qin dynasty belonged to the Iron Age. It was followed by the famous Han dynasty. Now, let us discuss about the features of the Chinese civilization. Ancient China's social life has always been very famous for its rich and unique culture, tradition, social norms, rules and regulations. The king and his family were placed on the topmost level of the ancient Chinese social hierarchy pyramid. Under him were the nobles and merchants, the craftspeople and the farmers, and finally the slaves in descending order. Family was a close-knit unit and elders and ancestors were greatly respected. Now, occupation. The ancient Chinese practiced a number of occupations: agriculture, domestication of animals, and the pottery making were some of their chief occupations. The Chinese grew rice, wheat, millet, and barley and soybean. According to legend, tea was first cultivated by the Chinese. They also domesticated cattle, sheep, dogs, and poultry. SERI-CULTURE or silk productions forms an important part of the Chinese traditions. Perhaps the Chinese were the first to wear silkworms on mulberry trees. According to the Chinese history, the technology of raising silkworms was invented and introduced by Liu, the wife of Wang Di, which indicates the long history of Chinese SERI-CULTURE. Silk cloth was extremely valuable in ancient China. Wearing silk was an important status symbol. At first, only members of the royal family were allowed to wear silk. China is famous for its beautiful, high-quality pottery called porcelain. Over the years, the Chinese developed a variety of ways of making and decorating pottery and became specialists in their craft. Ancient China pottery is one of the oldest in the world. They made beautiful vases, jars, cups, etc. Now, trade. The Chinese exported silk, tea, porcelain pottery, and paper to Japan, India, Egypt, Mesopotamia, and even parts of Europe. They used both land and sea routes. The Silk Road is a route of trade in ancient China. The Silk Road is not one single road. The Silk Road is a name given to the many trade routes that connected east to west. Silk Road was a nickname given to any road that led across China to Rome. At one end was China, at the other end was Rome. China is one of the most ancient civilizations on earth, and Chinese religion is one of the oldest forms of religion. The ancient Chinese practiced ancestor worship and the worship of forces of nature. The ancient Chinese believed in an afterlife but imagined that it would be very similar to their life on earth. Chinese religion is a complex mix of Chinese folk religion, Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism.